because they look up, and especially they look up to the crowd that's forming very strongly, and they look up to them very, very much in the States of Mexicans that immigrate to the States. So when they come back, it's entire admiration. Somebody like Selena, that now is dead, used to be just an idol, and everybody wanted to look like Selena and behave like her and have the opportunities that they figured she had.
I mean, you said this was a big site, yeah? I was going to ask, are there, part of our documentary, our film is looking for, in England they're called megaliths, or standing stones, which when we went to Zibul Sultan, when we first got there, there's 3 stones as soon as you walk in, 1, 2, 3 in front of you, like old kind of menhir type things. Are there any stones like that on this site?
Well, the problem that we had with the many, many photographs that we have of stones that existed back in the 18th and beginning of the 19th century, enormous megaliths, is that they used them for construction.
Right. Right.
And, you know, there's documented pictures of an Englishman called Catherwood that documented this enormous megalith in Izamal, and nobody knows where it's at. Nobody's claimed it on a personal basis to have it. Now the Mayans used those megaliths to make what's known as stelas.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And they carve on one side only.
Yeah.
They weren't statues or anything like that, but just one.
It was like the stone cut,
Yeah, one side stone carving, maybe 2 side stone carving, but they were flat, really enormous stones. Those are mostly in private collections.
Oh, really?
Mostly have been removed, and you know, Chichen was full of estelas, and you won't see one. They have a very good price in the black market of Mayan art.
Right, so people take them
and
put them in
you
their
know,
gardens or something.
You can't tell a farmer that hasn't seen $30 together in his entire life that you're going to pay him an X amount of thousands of dollars for a stone, and that they are not going to just say, you know, take the stone or take whatever. I mean, it's food.
Yeah.
In this case, it's not so much organized trade. It's just food for some of those farmers. I've seen enormous boulders, especially in Guatemala for the Mayan. Before the Mayans, they were the Olmecs, and the Olmecs had this enormous monoliths. And in Guatemala and nearby Saculeo, I've seen some very, very big ones that remain, because they are so humongous that they couldn't do anything with them, and they were softer stone than this.
Right.
So therefore, it couldn't be carved into smaller stones and into buildings, or just really gravel. I mean, some Mayan buildings became gravel.
Right.
So
they just crushed them up.
Crushed them up. Here we have 2 boulders, but they're not very big, and they're the guardians of the cenote. And they, once upon a time, and with a lot of imagination, you can see 3 frogs in them. But we do know that they were carved by them because they have holes in the center, humanly made round holes in the center. But because of the destruction of the rain, you find that they smashed a lot of them. A lot of the big boulders around here have been smashed. But the formation, you can't tell because they've been removed.
Right.
I mean, here you have weather conditions that are different. In the low rainforest, the weather can become devastating for nature, and entire walls will collapse towards the cenote after a big storm.
Yeah, right. It like washed all into it.
It washes all into it. But yes, they did do formations. They did do round formations. If you go to Mayapan, you will see the basis of
a circle.
They're not.
Is there anything like Stonehenge type?
It's not like Stonehenge. I can't make what it is. It is just a half a moon-shaped circle of stones.
Right.
And then another one, and then another one, and then another one, right in front of the observatory.
Right.
Of Mayapan. Here, I'm pretty sure they have the same thing.
But it's gone.
But it's gone. But in Mayapan, you can still see it. In Mayapan, it's not very far from here, maybe an hour's drive from here.
Right.
And it's Little Chichen. And the phenomena of the snake is phenomenal. Because the cenote instead of being this magnificent site cenote, it's a smaller cenote, maybe 10 meters, and it's not in diameter, it's just 10 meters in an irregular shape. And it's at the base of the pyramid.
Right.
So Kukulkan comes right down to the underworld. I mean,
So
it
there's
doesn't
another
have to go.
So there's another serpent
Oh,
snake.
this happens in all the Mayan cities in one way or another.
Oh,
the
right.
only one that's known is Chichen.
Yeah.
This is the majestic. There's nothing like this Castillo. There's nothing like the pyramid of Kukulkan. But yes, it does happen in many ways. At Mayapan, it happens at the main pyramid, which would have been the size of the inner pyramid here at Chichen. That's the size. In Oshkushkab, which is near Uxmal, it happens on windows that hit specific stones. The shade and shadow goes into the windows of a building, and it makes you see a specific of the sun, the 21st, or the equinoctial.
So it happens on summer solstice.
It happens in Uxmal on summer solstice with the snake that goes into the forest. We used to call it the dove pyramid. It has nothing of a dove, it's a rattlesnake. And the rattlesnake is made out of small filigree type of stone carvings, and when the sun hits it at solstice, the shadow of that building is a snake going into the jungle. There's a lot of that.
That is incredible. So is it the summer solstice here in June?
In June and in December.
Or in December?
Both.
So the next, after the equinox, we've got the winter solstice.
And that will be in Uxmal.
And that will be happening in Uxmal?
In Uxmal. And you will be one of the very few to see it, because since there is not a platform, the government doesn't advertise it, because we cannot house. In Uxmal, the buildings are not like here over plazas. In Uxmal, you have the governor's palace, and then right next to it and attached to it is the Great Pyramid, and attached to it is this structure, which is called the Palomar, or the Dove's Place. And that's what forms the shade, or the shadow, that goes into the jungle. So the snake goes into the jungle.
On the winter solstice?
On the winter solstice and on the summer solstice.
The snake goes into the jungle?
Into the jungle.
That is incredible.
They have all kinds of phenomena like that all over the Mayan kingdom. And we're just beginning to discover. With the discovery of the stair phenomena here at Chichen, a lot of archaeologists are looking at, if they did it in Chichen, they have to have done it someplace else. And if the pyramid is 17 degrees north and northeast, so that when at the west the sun is setting, the shade can form the visual effect of the snake coming down, or the Kukulkan coming down. If they had that knowledge, I'm pretty sure they didn't use it on the one pyramid on the one occasion. So they started looking and searching, and they have found a number of phenomena that happens either at solstice or at equinox, and either at the full moon before solstice, after solstice, same with equinox. So
the full moon does shadow as well?
INA, which is the National Institute of Anthropology and History, published last year, after the full moon of the spring equinox, they published that they were requesting the nation permission to open the site at night so that people could see the moon effect too. I haven't heard a word after that, but most likely they're going through the governmental process to be able to open it to the public. And I'm pretty sure eventually they'll open the moon effect on the pyramid. It's on the other side, it's not on the same side. Wow. It's on the other side of the pyramid. So all those very, very powerful effects, the Mayans did them in many, 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 many other cities. So it's just a matter of finding where, and through observation, they have found a number of them.